Okay, this is the topic 7 review for advanced algebra 1. And for the first question, we're supposed to find the degree of each function. So in number 1, letter A, we have 9x y squared plus 3xy cubed. Forgot to put my x in there. 3xy cubed and 8x to the fourth. So to find the degree of the polynomial, I find the degree of each term in the polynomial, and then it's the highest degree. So the degree of this one, you add the exponents, so that's a third degree. This one is a fourth degree because 3 plus 1, and this one is a fourth degree. So the overall degree of the entire polynomial, it's a fourth degree polynomial. Letter B as 2y to the sixth plus 7x to the fifth plus 3. So that one's real obvious. That is a sixth degree polynomial. Not a whole lot of work to do there. Letter C is 4xy minus 3x squared y squared plus 8. So here the degree is 2, 1 here, 1 here. Here the degree is 4 and 0 here because there's no variable. Okay. And so that makes this a fourth degree polynomial. And letter D, 3z squared plus 3w squared z squared. And that one's pretty obvious too. That would be fourth degree because this adds up to 4. So that would be a fourth degree polynomial. Okay. And number 2 has 6y cubed minus 7 plus 8y squared minus 11y minus y to the fifth. And we're supposed to write that in standard form. Standard form means you're going to write it in descending order of the exponent, and if there's more than one variable, of the variable that comes first alphabetically. So there's only one variable here, and this is my highest degree term here. So it needs to go first. Minus y to the fifth. There is no fourth degree term. There is a third degree term. So plus 6y to the third plus 8y squared minus 11y minus 7. And then we can check it. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's the ticket. Okay. Number 3 has 5x to the fourth plus 6x squared minus 12 plus 4x to the fourth minus x squared plus 3x minus 7. And for this one, these parentheses are not necessary because the plus in between them. And so I like to just drop the parentheses. 5x to the fourth plus 6x squared minus 12 plus 4x to the fourth minus x squared plus 3x minus 7. And then I just combine like terms. So here's a 5x to the fourth. It goes with 4x to the fourth. And plus in front, so that's going to be 9x to the fourth. Here's a 6x squared. It's going to go with minus x squared. And 6x squared minus x squared would be plus 5x squared. This 3x, because I'm supposed to write my answer in standard form, doesn't have anything to go with, but to put it in standard form, it would go next. And then it looks like I have negative 12 minus 7. And negative 12 minus 7 is minus 19. And that's my answer in standard form. 4, 2, 1, 0. Make sure. Number 4, where we have negative 5x plus 4 minus the quantity 3x squared minus 5x plus 4. And so this first set of parentheses is not necessary. This second set of parentheses is necessary because I have to distribute this negative. And so that's going to make that minus 3x squared plus 5x minus 4. And now I'm just going to add like terms and put my answer in standard form. So this would go first, negative 3x squared. And then there's a minus 5x plus 5x. That's going to be 0. And then there's a plus 4 minus 4. That's also going to be 0. So my answer is just negative 3x squared. Number 5, I'm supposed to distribute negative 5y to the third times the quantity 3y squared minus 5y plus 2. So I'm just distributing this monomial over this trinomial. So this times this would be negative 15y to the 5th. Add the exponents. This times this would be plus 25y to the 4th. And this times this last one would be minus 10y to the 3rd. And number 6, we have 3x squared plus 5 in parentheses. I'm going to actually write that on the second line so I can show you what I'm distributing. I'm going to write 3x squared plus 5, and we're supposed to multiply that by 2x squared minus 3x plus 7. And so with this, we distribute the 3x squared first. So I'm going to distribute it to here. That gives me 6x to the 4th. I think I can go ahead. No, let's write it down here. 6x to the 4th. Okay. So make sure you can see. Now I'm going to distribute it to the second one, and that's going to give me minus 9x squared. Now I'm going to distribute it all the way over there to that 7, and that's going to give me 21 x squared. And I made a mistake. This should be 9x cubed. Sorry. Because it's x squared times x, so that would be x cubed. Okay, now we distribute the 5. So I'm going to have plus 10x squared, and then minus 15x, and then plus 35. And now I need to add like terms. Well, there's nothing to go with 6x to the 4th, and there's nothing to go with 9x cubed. But I can add 21x squared and 10x squared and get 31x squared. And then there's nothing to go with the 15x, and there's nothing to go with the 35. So there's my answer. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's in standard form. Okay. Then we have number 7 as a portrait without its frame. Okay, so just a portrait without its frame has a height that is 4 times its width. So if this is W, then the height is 4W. The height is 4 times the width. Its frame, now we're going to bring the frame in. Its frame is 3 inches on each side. Okay, so that means this is 3 and this is 3. And so that means that my width of the whole thing would be 3 plus W plus 3, or W plus 6. And my height of the whole thing would be 3 plus 4w plus 3, or 4w plus 6. And it says, what is an expression for the area of the framed portrait in terms of W? What is an expression for the area of the framed portrait? So that would be length times width, W plus 6 times 4W plus 6 in terms of W. And then simplify my expression and write it in standard form. So I'm going to distribute the W, get 4W squared. I'm going to distribute it to here and get plus 6W. Then I'm going to distribute the 6 and get plus 24W. Distribute the 6 to here and get plus 36. And then I need to add like terms. I can add the 6W and the 24W. So my answer is 4W squared plus 30W plus 36. And that's my answer. Number 8 says find the product of 5y minus 2 squared. And remember what that means. That means I'm going to take 5y minus 2 times 5y minus 2. Do the same thing I just did up above there. Take 5y times 5y and get 25y squared. And then 5y times minus 2 is minus 10y. And then down here I distribute the negative 2 and I get another minus 10y. And then distribute the 2 out to there. I get plus 4. And then I combine like terms, negative 10y, so 25y squared minus 20y plus 4 would be the final answer. Number 9, we have 3x minus 5 times 3x plus 5. And these are, if you recognize, these are conjugates. And if you remember, when you multiply conjugates, that middle term drops out. But I'll show you the whole thing. Again, distribute, I get 9x squared. And then I get plus 15x. And then from this one, I get minus 15x. And then I get minus 25. So when I combine like terms, they are gone. My answer is 9x squared minus 25. And that is what we get. Anyway, number 10, square picture. So it's a square picture this time, which means that it will be X on all sides, right? Has a 4 centimeter frame around it. It's a big frame. So this is 4 and this is 4. So this would be X plus 8. It's still a square, X plus 8. The area of the frame alone, okay, the area of just the frame is 192. So this is one of those problems where I take the area of the whole thing, which would be X plus 8 times X plus 8, and I subtract the area of the inside square, which is X squared, and that equals the area of the frame, which is 192. And then we just solve that. When I multiply this out, I get X squared plus 16X plus 64 minus X squared equals 192. Notice the X squareds drop out. If they don't, we're in trouble because we don't know how to solve that quadratic equation yet. Okay, that's coming up in chapter 9. Then I'm going to subtract 64 from both sides, and I get 16x equals, and to speed things along, I grabbed my calculator, 128, and then divide both sides by 16, so I get 8, x equals 8. And what am I supposed to find? I'm supposed to find the area of the picture. So the picture would be 8 by 8, So the area of the picture would be 64 centimeters squared. 11 says we have negative 18 y to the 6th plus 36 y to the 3rd minus 24 y. They're not asking us to factor out the greatest common factor. They're just asking us to find the greatest common factor. If I take the smallest one, 18, 18 is 1 times 18, 2 times 12, 2 times 12, oh my gosh, what am I thinking? 2 times 9, 3 times 6, and so then I look at these factors. 9 goes into here, but it doesn't go into here. 2 obviously goes into all 3, but is that the greatest? 3 goes into all 3, but again, is that the greatest common factor? 6 goes into all 3. So that's what I would say is the greatest common factor. And remember, when there's a negative out front of my leading coefficient, we usually take out a negative 6. And then it looks like I can take out a y, and that's it. So the greatest common factor is negative 6y. Number 12, 49x squared minus 1. Is there a greatest common factor? Nope. Is it a binomial? Yep. So we put 2 sets of parentheses. The square root of 49x squared is 7x and 7x. The square root of 1 is 1. And plus, minus, and it's done. 13, I have 25x squared plus 40x plus 16. Is there a greatest common factor? No. Is it a binomial? No. Is it a trinomial? Yes. So I go to my factor puzzle. 25x squared goes here. 16 and 40x. Let's see. I'm going to guess 5x and 5x, and I'm going to guess 4 and 4. When I multiply across, that gives me 20x and 20x. And so it works. 20x plus 20x is 40x. This times this is this. This times this is this. So this is 5x plus 4 times 5x plus 4. And then as some of you demonstrated on yesterday's quiz, you can write that as the quantity 5x plus 4 squared. 14 x squared minus 16x plus 64. So no greatest common factor. It's not a binomial. So we go to our factor puzzle. X squared is x times x. 64. Negative 16x. I could use 1 and 64, 2 and 32, 4 and 16, 5, 6, 8, and 8. And I think it's going to be 8 and 8. So we multiply across, we get 8x and 8x. Notice they both have to be negative. So they both have to be negative over here, and that works. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. Negative 8x plus negative 8x is negative 16x. So this is x minus 8 times x minus 8. 15. 6x squared plus 3x minus 30. And again, is there a greatest common factor? Yes, there is. You can take a 3 out of everything. And then I would have 2x squared plus x minus 10. And that's a trinomial, so I go to my factor puzzle. 2x squared, negative 10, x, no choice here, it's going to be 2x and x. And I think it's going to be a 2 here and a 5 here. That gives me 4x and 5x. I want the x to be positive. That means I want the 5 to be positive, which means the 4 has to be negative. And then we check it. 5 times -2 is -10. -4x plus 5x is positive x. So our answer is 3 times the quantity, 2x plus 5, times the quantity, x minus 2. Okay? 16, moving right along. 12x squared plus 29x plus 15. Well, I know there's no greatest common factor because 29 is prime. So I go right to my factor puzzle. And 12x squared goes here, 15 goes here, and 29 down here. I don't know, I just have a funny feeling that it's going to be 6x and 2x. And actually, that's not going to work. Here I am all confident. 6x and 2x. No. Oh, bueno. Okay, so we go to 4x and 3x. And let's see. And that's going to work. If I put a 5 here and a 3 here, that gives me 20x and 9x. And everything's positive, so that times that works, that times that works, that plus that works. So this is 4x plus 3 and 3x plus 5 for the answer. Oops, click my parenthesis. 17 x squared minus 5xy minus 24y squared. Okay. No greatest common factor, so we can go right to our factor puzzle. X squared, negative 24y squared, negative 5xy. See, 24 is 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6, 3 times 8 makes 5, right? When I add or subtract. So I'm going to put a 3y and an 8y, and I multiply across, I get 3xy, 8xy, and I want the 5 negative, so I need the 8 negative. And then that times that is that. Negative 8y times 3y is negative 24y squared, and 3xy plus negative 8xy is negative 5xy. My answer is x minus 8y times the quantity x plus 3y. And number 18. Number 18, we have x squared minus 13x. Where am I? Plus 36. No greatest common factor. Straight to our factor puzzle. X squared, 36, negative 13x. So x squared is x times x. I think the factors of 36 are going to make 13 are 9 and 4. And 9x plus 4x is positive 13x, so I need them both to be negative. So both these are negative. And so this is x minus 9 times x minus 4. 19, 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. Again, no greatest common factor. So right to the factor puzzle. 2x squared, negative 9, 3x, no choice here. It's going to be 2x and x. This could be 1 and 9 or 3 and 3. I really don't think it's going to be 1 and 9, so I'm just going to put 3 and 3. Multiply across, we get 6x and 3x. If I want this 3x down here to be positive, then I need this 3x up here to be negative. And then we check it. That times that is that. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. 6x minus 3x is 3x. So we get 2x minus 3 times the quantity, x plus 3. Last but not least, x squared minus x minus 42. No greatest common factor, so right to our factor puzzle, x squared negative 42 minus x times x. See, I could use 1 times 42, 2 times 21, 3 times, oh dear, divided by 3, I think it's 14. Yep, 3 times 14, 4, 5, 6 times 7. There it is, 6 times 7. So we put a 6, 7, 6x, 7x. I want this to be negative 1. Sorry, you're not seeing that. I want this to be negative 1. So I need the 7 to be negative, which means this is negative. We check it. X times x is x squared. Negative 7 times 6 is negative 42. And 6x plus negative 7x is minus x. So this is x minus 7 times the quantity x plus 6. We are done.